Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we have a very exciting video because in front of me is a full set of Halo Heroes Series 15. Now, from what I've seen, there was kind of a lot more hype about this series than 12, 13, or 14. Because there's a lot of new stuff here, there's a lot of different stuff here, and it's really interesting. I'm super excited to take a look at it. But before we do, I just wanted to say a huge thanks to Discord user Emerzy. He hooked me up with this full set. Without his help, I probably would still be checking Target over and over again. So, huge thanks to him. His Instagram will be down in the description below. Go ahead, pause the video, and go take a look. He's got some really awesome customs. I somehow missed the fact that he was on Instagram, even though I've seen his customs before. Really, for real, pause the video, go look. They're pretty epic. Now, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this packaging. So at first glance, this looks like your standard Halo Heroes packaging, but it's actually not. They're doing something different this time. So this whole thing kind of like loops around on itself, and we get this kind of cardboard section that we can tear, actually. So, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. There's not really a ton to look at on the back. We're just going to go ahead and see how this works. So, this is like a tear off tab that kind of works. It kind of keeps breaking. Okay, so we can do that. And then that's a little parts holder thing. And then we do this. Oh, wow. Okay, that makes it really easy to get the figures out. Dump them out. And how do I get into this little plastic thing here? Oh, it just hinges open, and we have our little checklist. So let's take a look at this. All right. Nice. So yeah, that's really kind of strange and different here about the package. I was a little surprised. I don't know if it really matters how they make the packaging. It's just interesting, and I am glad it's no longer just the like unprinted cardboard on the back, because that looked kind of bad. And the thing that should really be noted here is the fact that it's Halo Universe branding. So more Halo Universe stuff. I think this is the second line of stuff we've gotten from Halo Universe, the first one being the Halo Universe blind bags. So far Halo Universe is gearing up to be pretty darn good. Okay. Oh, so if you do it right, you can just kind of hinge it all open. Oh, okay. So it looks like they will use this little section to hold extra parts. That was not in a bag or anything. If you didn't know it was there, you would probably lose it. Another checklist. We don't really need that. So yeah, the stand, it's very important to note that the stand is in the little thing on the bottom. Ooh, looks like we got some new shoulder armors for Linda. Obviously, we'll take a closer look at all of these. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of show off this new packaging because it's a little strange. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if this is really good or bad the way they changed it. It just kind of is. It does make it a little harder to stand these packages upright for the video, like this. They don't really want to stand because the front is so mushy. Oh, look at that. Okay, so you know what? Let me go ahead and just pop the other two guys open off camera, and we will take a closer look because I'm sure all of you guys are very, very interested to see these up close and less interested in seeing the packages being ripped 5 times in a row. And there they are, all out of the package. So let's jump right in and start with everybody's favorite, Decimus. In case you were wondering, I was being sarcastic when I said this is everyone's favorite because a lot of people think that this is a wasted spot, and I kind of agree. This is the third version of Decimus that we've gotten, so I don't really know if he warranted another figure so soon, because we had already a Halo Heroes one, And then we had the one from the Frost Raven, and now we have this one. And he's a dead character. Like, he died in Halo Wars 2. Sorry, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the story of Halo Wars 2 or played it or whatever. But yeah, he dies, and so he is a dead character. It's not like we're going to see him in Infinite again. So I don't know. I don't know if he warranted a new figure so soon. That being said, he does look pretty darn fantastic. So first of all, this gravity hammer is perfection. Just look at that. The handle has like the bronzish kind of between like a bronze and a gold, and then the blade on the back is printed red, and then we got some red on here. So this is perfect. This is absolutely fantastic, and you should definitely pick up a Decimus purely for this grab hammer because it's great. The figure himself is pretty good. He's using I can't speak. He's using the base like Halo Wars 2 brute kind of body and legs and all that. And then he's got these kind of flat shoulder pieces with printing on them. Printing looks great. Print on the chest, print on the legs. Looks very nice. Not much print around the back. Now his head looks pretty nice. The print is done well. The hair part is done well. And he looks pretty lifelike. I'm happy with the way the head looks. Now, what I'm not happy with is the fact that the neck is, look at that, it's bent off to the side. So I grabbed another brute torso just to compare, and it's the same Halo Wars brute torso, but the neck is way bent off to the side. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm not really sure how that happened. That's a quality control issue I have not seen before. And it's also not one I will be able to fix, I don't think. I mean, I might be able to heat it up and try bending it back, but that's kind of a bummer. And this is like a darker gray, so I don't know if we've seen that color before, at least on just generic brutes, so I don't necessarily have an extra piece lying around. And the chest plate tends to rattle. So that's kind of a bummer. Definitely kind of the dud of the series overall. He's a great figure, a great way to get Decimus if you don't have him already, because, like, I don't have him already. So getting this guy is pretty good. But for people that have him already, this is just going to be kind of like, not great. What is pretty great is the way they've updated the stands. Now, I know there's kind of, I don't know if any decision was made overall throughout the community about whether this was a good choice or a bad choice, but Mega has started doing the stands not series specific. Instead, the symbol on the underside will be specific to the figure. So it says Decimus, and we have the banished symbol. To me, that is really cool. It makes all the figures kind of their own standalone thing and not part of the series. Like, so for like Series 12, you bought a Series 12 figure, it would be specifically a Series 12 stand and it would fit into the lineup. But these, it feels like you can just buy one and the figure will look fantastic sitting on a shelf by themselves because their stand is specific to them. I find that pretty cool. I think it works a lot better with these big flat tile pieces or slope pieces that Mega has been using, and then doing it this way. I think that just works. That works a lot better than what they have been doing, and I think it looks fantastic. Next up, we have Spartan Linda. So let's take a look at her stand. We have the Spartan 2 program symbol, and it says Spartan Linda. That looks pretty darn cool. Linda has Nornfang. I don't know if this is the exact same print as we got in the blue team set, because I don't have that set, but it's close, I think, because, I mean, it is Nornfang, so Nornfang has all the same markings. Looks pretty good. The yellow is a little bit too translucent in spots, but overall, very nice printed weapon. The stand is like a silver. Now, Mega has this problem with the snipers that when you clip the stand in, it forces the barrel upward, so it's always kind of curved upward. I don't really know if there's a way to fix that, but it might be something that they should look into. And then we have Linda herself, and she looks really weird. Now, I've never really been a fan of Linda's armor. Argus is a little strange to me, but this looks really weird. Like, it looks kind of like an owl. Also, why does she not have any, like, eye print? I know this is based on her appearance in, like, the, what is that, Shadows of Reach book. And if she were to show up in Infinite, that's what she would be looking like. But, like, where's her, like, visor on her eyes? Like, where, like, gold? No gold? That's just kind of weird. Got a little attachment on the side with some print. Now, what's interesting is the helmet is not the color of the body. It's kind of more of a gray, and then they printed on the armor color on top, and then we have a bit of like vent detail and a little more detail on the back. So very well done helmet. It looks weird to me. I'm just not a fan of it. And then we have the black print here and here. Got some black print on the front of the armor. New shoulder armors. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I have never seen these before. This looks brand new. So, okay. Mega, why are you willing to make new parts for Linda and not Chief? Like, come on. If you can do this, I mean, this armor piece right here is closer to Chief's actual shoulders in Infinite than what they're using now. So, we know they can make us a better Chief. They're just refusing to do it. And I know a lot of you want to see Blue Team all together in this video, and I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I will be doing a full video on the Infinite style Blue Team. But for now, I'll just drop in Kelly, the two without the numbers. Kelly definitely looks a little more plain compared to Linda, but there they are. So overall, for me, Linda is kind of a weird figure, but I know for a lot of people, this is exciting because it's, you know, we finally get to complete our Halo Infinite Blue Team, or Shadows of Reach Blue Team, since they're technically not in Infinite yet. And I would say she's done pretty well. Mega has done a good job here, but I'm just not a fan of this armor. Well, the helmet. I'm not a fan of the helmet specifically. The rest of the armor looks fine, and Nornfang looks great. It's just that helmet is weird. It's like a space bird, robot bird thing. Now, this was a surprise. I was never expecting to get a Agent Locke figure from Nightfall, but here he is. So this is Agent Locke as he appeared in the film Nightfall, which I still need to watch. I watched Forward Unto Dawn. I love that film. That's great. Like, to me, that's the way that Halo films should be done. I have heard Nightfall is not nearly as good, but I still want to see it anyway because I think Locke is a cool character. Here's his stand. We have the Oni symbol, which is really cool looking, and then Agent Locke over the front. Very good. Locke has a DMR with a scope, which has no print, oddly. Like, this is a Halo Heroes figure. Mega, like, no print on the DMR? That's a little bit cheap feeling. It's just a plain gray DMR, and everybody else in the series has print on their weapons. So that's a bit weird to me. Like, come on, just a little bit of silver or black or something. But then look at this man. He is absolutely ready to tear anyone limb from limb if they get in his way. Look at that. He is absolutely just buff. It's ridiculous, it's over the top, and I absolutely love it. Like, this figure is 100% my favorite figure in this whole wave. Because, number one, I think Locke is a cool character. I think he gets a lot of flack for no reason. But this almost looks like it could be a stand-in for, like, Survivor Locke after the UNSC's defeat in Infinite. This just looks fantastic. Like I said, it's a figure that I never thought we would see in even a set, much less Halo Heroes, but here he is, and he's so good. I love this. I like the fact that he is like a piece of his, it's supposed to be a piece of his like ODST armor still on, even though that's Spartan armor. I understand why they did this, because they wanted it to look bulky and big, like a piece of armor that he could take off, whereas the ODST forearms are pretty small. And then he has this leg strap. Now, I could be wrong here, but this looks like a new leg strap because it's similar to Call of Duty, but the Call of Duty ones always have some sort of peg to attach something onto. And this has nothing. So I think this is a new piece, which is pretty cool. And then his head. Let me get in closer so that you can see his head. I was really worried that they were going to make this head bad. Like, the renders always show the head looking great, and then sometimes reality is disappointing and we get a crummy head. But this looks amazing. The eyes are done really well. The eyebrows are positioned so the face actually kind of has an expression. It's a kind of almost worried expression. And this is I don't know if it's a new head mold exactly, but there's no peg hole in the top, which means you cannot put a Marine helmet on unless you were to cut the peg out of the Marine helmet. Now, that's both good and bad because I was interested in testing a Marine helmet on Locke because that might look kind of cool, but there's no peg hole. So it makes his bald head look nice and realistic. We don't have to deal with a big ugly hole there, but at the same time, you can't put helmets on. So it's a trade-off. I am happy with what they did. And then he's got his dog tags over his red shirt, suspenders, like a suspender harness thing. It's rubber, so it can get kind of crooked. And there's like, if you wanted to put a knife or something in there, you could. And, okay, so I wanted to test, well, not really test. I wanted to see what it looks like because obviously Locke has dark skin. So I wanted to see what Locke looked like next to the Marine from the Recon Getaway. And look at that. They have different tones of their skin. So this is I think the third or fourth different color that we've gotten for like a darker skin tone. And I'm really happy with that. In my opinion, the darker skin tones on these little tiny figures, for some reason, just look better. They just look more realistic and lifelike. So I'm really happy that we're getting some more skin tones there. Also, there's Locke wearing a Marine helmet. That's as far as it goes unless you were to cut that peg out. So, like I said, trade-off, not bad. Oh, and we have printed knee plates there, and then we have the new Marine legs, and his feet swivel, and they're not loose, which is great. So overall, I really love this figure. I don't see how Mega could have done it better, except for giving his DMR actually some print. He is fantastic. He has exceeded my expectations, and I love the fact that he is just absolutely super ridiculously buff. This is like post-apocalyptic Locke right here. This is fantastic. Before we move on, I almost forgot. I wanted to see what this looked like. So, if we pop the Locke head on the Locke armor. Look at that. That's epic. That's great. I almost want to buy a second Locke just so I can have another head, just in case I want to have him wear it. Also, it's not wanting to stick real well. This head was a little loose on the armor, and I guess this one, the helmet would be too tight. But yeah, that's what that looks like, and I think it looks great. Next up, we have a figure who has garnered quite a bit of hype. This is Odst Ramus. Ramos. I think it's Ramus. But yeah, so we've got the Fireteam Raven symbol, I'm assuming, and then it says Ramus ODST. And this is the green dude from Fireteam Raven. I was not expecting them to visit or revisit Fireteam Raven so soon, but they did, and Ramus looks fantastic. So the Fireteam Raven figures have always been like the pinnacle of the ODST figures. They always had amazing prints and just looked they're so good. And this is no exception. So first of all, printed gun, which, like I said, everybody gets print in this series except for Locke's DMR, which is weird. But this is like a silver, but it's not really silver. It has kind of a bit of warm gold tone in it, which is super cool, makes it stand out from previous printed ARs. And then Ramus himself has a lot going on. So first, his hand... Wait, which hand was it? This one. Yeah, this one has that wobbly problem. It was not really in the arm when I pulled him out of the package. And then I put it in, and he's still got the problem. I'm not happy that this is becoming more and more prevalent. I think that's a big issue that Mega needs to address. But, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Let's look at the figure. So, helmet with the visor is, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Within the lines, the rest of the gray on there is great. We have 2 stripes on top. Looks like 1 stripe is a little farther over, but that's a nitpick. Chest is done very well. Although, I just realized he's got green printed on this side, and then this gray part is not printed. Is that supposed to happen? Let me see if I can find the package. Of course, he's holding his gun in the way. Maybe one of the slips will tell us. The pictures are kind of really small, but let me see. Okay, no, so he's supposed to have both of these sections gray here, and the green just went too far. At least that's not too bad of a misprint. We have a tiny little UNSC symbol, and then it says Ramus up here, but it's really hard to see. His shoulders have some green on both sides. Now, I'm looking at him, and I don't know if it's just me, or maybe it was just the angle. It looked like one of his shoulder armors was sitting up higher than the other. Yeah, it actually still almost looks like that. It looks like this one is sitting up higher than the other, and I have no idea why that would be. Print on the legs, and, well, print on the thigh armor, print on the lower legs. Now, my one complaint, as always with the ODSTs, is that moving them, the leg armor catches on this back plate. On some of my ODSTs, I would trim the corners, but for Heroes figures, I kind of don't want to do that. But, yeah. Overall, really, really great looking figure, and I know everybody is probably sitting there begging me to do this. So, there is Lang, and there is Graves. So now we just need the last member, which is the orange dude. I don't remember his name. Somebody tell me his name in the comments. But yeah, we're just missing the one guy, and then we will have all of Fireteam Raven. When we do get all of Fireteam Raven, I'm definitely going to do a review of all of them together because they look really cool. So overall, fantastic addition. A few little odd things going on, like the hand. Also, the waist is super, super loose. So some weird QC stuff, but overall, this is a great figure. Probably one you're going to want to get a couple of just because it's an ODST in green, and we haven't gotten a green ODST in a while. Get a couple of these guys, maybe grab some older ODSTs, do some pop and swaps, and you've got yourself some nice figures there. And last, but certainly not least, we have the Light of Sanghelios. So first, I'm going to set him aside. I know we'll take a look at him in just a second, but I want to take a look at his stand. It says Light of Sanghelios. I'm not sure what the symbol is. It's in like this light purple. Maybe that's the honor guard symbol. Maybe that's specifically the Light of Sanghelios symbol. I'm not sure. Here is the figure himself. Now, the original like red honor guard is one of those figures that if you have one of them, then you're super lucky. If you have more than one, then I don't even know. But they're like some of the most legendary, sought-after figures in the Mega Construx line. And they finally brought it back. They finally brought the mold back, but in white. So I didn't really know what the Light of Sanghelios was until I looked it up. And apparently it was like the highest rank of the honor guards possible. So they were like the best of the best, which is pretty cool. And the color scheme looks absolutely fantastic. We have the honor guard Pike returning once more, looking fantastic. Lots of nice print on the top. And then we have all of the honor guard pieces returning here. The just absolutely massive helmet. Look at that. Really huge. And I would say this is a pretty iconic helmet too. The shoulder pieces, great. Some really, really fine print on there. Gray and then gold. No print around the back, but that's fine. Well, on the back of the like helmet fins there is, but not on the inside. No print on the back of the chest plate. And then on the legs, we have some print, which looks great. I believe these legs are specific to, or these thigh armors are specific to the honor guards. Then just some lower legs. It's nothing special. And then the chest plate is, as far as I know, exclusive to honor guards, and it's printed up super nicely. There's what it looks like with the helmet taken off. There's the helmet separate. Absolutely fantastic figure. This is a must-have for sure. And once this hits stores, I'm probably going to be picking up at least another one, if not like another 2 or 3, just so I can have a couple of these guys to put in scenes. Oh yeah, and before I forget, he does have the new hands, which all of this fantastic print and the new hands, in my opinion, makes this figure better than the original honor guard, just because of how much more accurate these hands make the figure. Such a cool figure. Definitely deserves the hype. Oh, it's kind of unreal the fact that they brought this back, brought all the mold back, and then gave it to us in a different color. It's unreal. It's really just unreal. Well, there you have it. That is Halo Heroes Series 15, the first Halo Universe Halo Heroes series. And I would say that this is a really solid wave. Now, it is only 5 figures still, which I'm wondering if this is going to become the norm now, is just having 5. I'm kind of okay with that, to be honest, because of how hard it's been to get your hands on any new Mega stuff lately. Having only 5 figures does make it easier to track them down. So in that respect, I think it's fine that there's only 5. But we do kind of lose a whole figure per series now. Was it a whole figure or a whole 2 figures? Depending. So that's a little on the disappointing side, especially when Mega does things like puts Decimus in when we didn't really need him, and that slot, all the figure slots are more important now because there's only 5, and putting in figures that we don't really need more of, like Decimus, makes it more disappointing than maybe it would have been if we did have the full, 8? It's been 8 before? 6 or 8. Why can't I remember now? I think 8. Anyway, I probably got that wrong. But yeah, we lose figure slots, and so that's a bummer. But it's not bad. And then the changes to the stands are fantastic. The selection of figures, with the exception of Decimus, is fantastic. I don't think, even Decimus, even though we have gotten him before, he's not necessarily a dud figure per se. He doesn't look bad. He's just kind of redundant. Light of Sanghelos is absolutely A-tier stuff. Mega, please do more like this. That's fantastic. Buff Locke is one of the coolest figures just ever. I think he has become, probably I would put him in my top 5 Mega Construx figures of all time, just because how could you not like that? The head was done fantastic. All the rest of the print and stuff is fantastic. And the fact that they made him just so over the top buff is hilarious, and I love it. I don't love the fact that they didn't print the DMR. That's kind of a bummer. I don't know why they did that. That feels cheap. Ramus, it's about time, even though I figured we wouldn't see any of Fireteam Raven for a long time. It's about time that we're able to finish it up. So fingers crossed that we'll see the last dude in Halo Heroes Series 16, which I need to go and Google his name and stop calling him the orange dude. And then we finally have Linda, and our blue team for Halo Infinite is complete. Even though, like I said, she looks like a weird space owl and her eyes aren't printed. That's weird to me. So overall, absolutely fantastic. I know that these are all showing up in actually pretty large amounts in the California area. There have been some, I think, found in Washington State, but that's all the places that they've been seen. Somebody found a couple in a Rite Aid, I think in California, and for the most part, it's been Target. So keep your eyes open. They are coming to stores, and when they come, it's like cases full. Some people found like 2 or 3 full cases in their Target. So maybe Mega has fixed their issues, and this whole setup here will be available to as many people as possible. So fingers crossed that is the case, because this is a series you do not want to miss out on. Not many army builders. We really just have the Light of Sanghelios that we can army build, but that's fine. I think that's perfectly fine. And overall, I would give this a solid, probably like 9 out of 10 if I had to rate it that way. The only reason I don't give it a full 10 out of 10 is Decimus, because he's a little redundant. His weird quality control with his head, and Ramus's weird quality control stuff. But other than that, absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend you track these down. What are you waiting for? Go ahead, stop the video, go to your targets, or call your targets, actually. You can call them and ask, and see if you can track these down. But please, 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 do not go on eBay and pay $20 or $30 per figure. Please, just hang in there, wait. They are coming to stores. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.